You cooked for the Ambanis when they were in Paris. You cooked for the ambassador when he came to France. How are these things happening? How do you end up in the right rooms together?
She recommended me to the ambassador that, hey, there is this guy, he's a chef from Lyon, and who is representing India in the most rightest way possible. The aim was to really bring in different food from different regions, so I tried to travel across India every year. Now, street food is the upcoming trend.
I really think it's also something to do with Indians when they're abroad.
So when they come to Bistro, they can expect to relive their memories which they have found in India. Memories through food.
Welcome to another episode of the MarketinCrew Podcast. We're here with Chef Debs today, and we're going to be interviewing him about his journey of opening a restaurant in Lyon and in Paris, and how it all came to be, and his journey as a chef. And let's see how it goes. Chef Deb, welcome to our podcast.
Thank you, it's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure.
So, if you can just start by introducing yourself, tell us what exactly you do and your businesses in Lyon and Paris.
Perfect. So, I am Deb. I'm a chef. I studied. I came here in 2016 for my master's in Institute Paul Bocuse. So it was a very interesting master's on culinary research and innovation, and also culinary leadership, which deals with business, culinary business in fact. So long story short, I have done I graduated from Chennai in a hotel school, IHM Chennai. Worked for a year over there. Was really intrigued by in R&D and in new age neo Indian cooking, and that's when I decided to do my masters. I came here in Lyon, studied for a year, had a look at Indian restaurants all around in France, and it was all about North Indian food. It was only about Punjabi food, tikka masala, naan, pule Madras, which I never found in Madras, living in Madras for 4 years. So that was the point which intrigued me into thinking that why is food so cliched over here. Eventually started writing my thesis over there on this subject, and then finally decided that I need to come up with something in my little capacity, whatever possible, to really bring out the real Indian food. So that's how the entire journey started. That's how the entire framing of mine started, and then this became a medium in 2019 when I somehow, after having some loan from the bank, from the finances, from different financial institution in France, to finally come up with my restaurant in Lyon. 2019 November is when we started. The aim was to really bring in different food from different regions, so I tried to travel across India every year, discover each and every different region, trying food from these little places, because even if you look at YouTube and you learn these recipes, it's not the same unless and until you go there, you try out there in the streets, you get the essence, you smell the chalk coming out into your nose, and that's the aim, to go try the food, bring out real Indian food back to the plates in Lyon, in the most authentic, the most relatable, authentic, if I can use a word, it can be the most original way. I try to get the bestest essence possible without changing or modifying the dish such a huge manner that it loses its entire base or it loses its entire feel. So that's the aim of mine, to keep the feel intact as what you get back in streets and back in here, and that's how the bistro started. And
Okay.
that's the concept of the bistro. That's the philosophy of the bistro.
What can one expect when they come to Debs Bistro in Lyon?
So when they come to bistro, they can expect to relive their memories which they have found in India. Memories through food, what they have explored in different regions of India. So for example, if they have traveled to Kerala, they would find my talacheri biryani over here, or they have traveled in Chennai and they would have found my dosa over here. So that's how they can relive the same tastes what they have tried during their voyage. So it's a travel through food. That's what they can expect from.
And what about those who haven't traveled to India? What can Debs Bistro do for them?
So those who have not traveled to India, they can come here in a very open mind, and just it's kind of like a research thesis for them to come and see, okay, this can be Indian food too, oh, then maybe this is Indian food too, and pani puri can be an Indian food too, because these are things which are not very known for people, and that's what I sorry to give you a longer answer, because I think that's what my preliminary research was on this subject of because people didn't relate anything other than curry to Indian food. So anything like, for example, if you give a patrani machi to a Indian guy, to a foreigner, to a person over here, they would be like, this is a tropical food because it's banana and coconut in it. But that's very Gujarati or very Western Indian food. That's kind of the exploration what you can find over here, to open up your mind into thinking that the perception what you had for Indian food is completely different than what the fact is about Indian food. It's almost like different regions coming up with different kinds of geography, different kind of topography, different ingredients, and that's how. So that's what you can expect over here, to open your mind and then take the decision how you like it and which is your preferred comfort food, or that's up to you.
And you do a lot of food trails in India,
Yeah.
and bring back those original dishes back to France. So why is it important to have these food trails?
So it's like my homework, easier said than done, that I can, again, you can keep on looking at books and you can see videos, but then you don't get the taste, there is this, you miss this feeling of taste, and unless and until, I do believe that unless until you go out there and then try the food in the region, at that place. For example, if I can give you an example, I have tried Mysore masala dosa. You get it everywhere, I've tried Mysore masala dosa in Delhi, in Mumbai, in Calcutta, in Chennai, and then I went to Mysore to try Mysore masala dosa. It's
Completely
nowhere
different.
compared to, it is completely different. It's not going, we eat Mysore masala dosa, for us it's a spicy dosa, but it's not spicy. You have a tinge of clove in it, you have a tinge of cinnamon in it, and that was, for me, was like, man, I never tried the red paste. I thought it's a chili paste, but that's, these little things is what you learn, and this thing, I can't learn it unless and until I've gone there and tried that, and I've been to the kitchen and I've asked the chef, hey chef, this is amazing, how did you do that? And then he would be kind enough to show me, this is how things are. And I think it's a continuous process for me also to learn. Until and unless I learn, how can I feed other people or be confident about what I am doing? So it's my therapy / vacation / homework / learning. So yeah, that's how the food trips are.
It's amazing. You're an adventurer and a chef.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to. It's really a very. I look forward for it. It. Even if it is very hectic, it doesn't seem to be. It feels to be very hectic at all, because it's work and fun at the same time. It can't get better than this.
Can't get better. And you ended up opening another restaurant in Paris called Debs Streetfood.
Yes.
So Debs Bistro is more about, more casual dining, and Debs Bistro, I'm guessing, is more, Debs Streetfood is more QSR, fast food,
True.
street food. How did that idea came about? How did you end up opening a restaurant in Paris?
So I've been trained in Paul Bocuse to innovate into concepts, so we studied those things. Now street food is the upcoming trend. Street food is something which is trending. People are really coming up, preferring this thing. It's a trending food business topic, and I decided to open a concept which deals with Indian street food. And Indian street food, I mean, is there are a lot of parallels. One is that I have in my food tours, it's something which I have loved to eat. So I love that taste. I love the vibe of how I love the portion size. It's not too big, too small. It's a tapas kind of thing. Now, tapas is going great. Tapas is something you have it in apero and this thing. So I thought of it that this can be a great alternative to what tapas or apero can be. So that's how we decided to have a street food restaurant where we want to do apero style street food. Also have dabbas, easy going. 3 things: rice or meat, rice or roti with meat or vegetables, and then one salad or raita with it. It's a simple pre-portioned bento box, and that's how we and you serve it directly. So to give that show, to give that rustic essence. So this is more into a comforty ghar mein baith ke. It's a Sunday meal that is much like a daily rastem ki nukkad mein you eat a vada pav and go to your work, or take a dabba and go to your work. So it's a very rustic meal. So it's going to be, this is a Sunday thing. You sit with your grandmother and you have that elaborate way of eating a beef nihari and this, and that's going to be this. The aim is the same. It's the same place, it's the same house, it's the same feeling. It's just the different expectation what you have. So that's the aim of this thing. The street food also revolves around the same concept. It's street food from different regions of India. Again I picked up recipes from my tours all around India. The dabbas also behaves in the same concept. We also do dabbas here in the afternoon, afternoon lunch. It's going to be dabbas. You get directly a dabba in your table. You open your dabba and you eat it like a Mumbaikar, how you have dabba in your office back in Mumbai. So we have the same dabba concept in both restaurants. So that's why it's like two brothers. One is a bit he's a bit Gen Z, a bit cooler, he's a bit this thing. The other is that nicely combed guy, very particular about his food, and it's 2 brothers playing along. Both have different problems, but they have the same ethos, they have the same.
And when I visited Paris, I heard you opened the restaurant with Anshul.
Yes.
Right. So how did that story come out? How did you find him, and how did you decided to open the Debs Streetfood in Paris?
So of course, running a business in France is a task for itself. So I do say everyone, if you can run a business in France, you can run it in anywhere in the world. Mm-hmm. So after my first restaurant, I really wanted to create another restaurant, but I also realized that it's not a thing which I can do by myself, just by myself. I need some support, and that's how. So it was very funny. I think I wrote it in a Facebook page that I'm looking for a co-founder. There were a few replies. Anshul was one of them, and when I was like, hey Anshul, let's talk. So Anshul was like, no, I don't want to talk, first let's eat. And he drove all the way to Lyon, and it was Saturday. He had a thali, and he was impressed by the thali, and he was like, the second statement was, let's work together. And so that's how it was. Very simple. It was very simple. Now when you look back, it sounds very, but that's not how you supposed to meet for a business setup. But that's how it happened. So it happened very quickly. And that's how. And then we started working together. We started co-creating the concept. I had some ideas. He had some ideas. We started co-creating it for next 6-8 months, and then finally, we came up with the place in Paris.
And I really think it's also something to do with Indians when they're abroad. Like even you and me, we just met one day and we were like,
Absolutely.
okay, I love your food. You're like, okay, what do you do? And we just started talking, and here we are managing the marketing of your restaurants together. And it's just, I think, when Indians meet other Indians, especially when they're entrepreneurs abroad, you already are in the same situation, you know. So there is already a level of, okay, no, we'll do it together kind of thing, and it just blends so nicely.
True.
I feel that's
it is. We also have a particular kind of working or a way of reacting to situations, or a way of even looking at situations in a particular way. We have a very we don't play with binaries. We have a very grey scale of looking at an object, and so psychologically also you kind of connect that way because you are looking at a subject in a very common way, which is and I think that is how that is what I have realized in the due course, and that's how I as soon as I see Indian entrepreneurs there, I start creating that symbiosis kind of relationship where it's like, you know, we I give, you give, I take, you take, and it becomes it's a very symbiotic relationship of how we grow together, and that's what I think preferably, and I think that's a very Indian way of working. It's a very Indian business. Exactly, business. You know, it's a simple thing. You will not find it anywhere else in the world where you go to a sari dukan and the first thing the guy says is, what would you like? Do you like a chai or a thanda? Whether you buy even a handkerchief from them, it doesn't matter. The offering first it's a very different way of doing business. So I think I connect that way, and that's how my whole aim is to create. As soon as I see someone and I'm like, hey, even if it's a small work, let's work together and see how we can work together. Let's see. Yeah.
You cooked for the Ambanis when they were in Paris. You cooked for the ambassador when he came to France. How are these things happening? How do you end up in the right rooms together?
So it started on the first week of my restaurant getting opened in 2019. I was all working by myself. It was only me in the kitchen doing the entire thing. Sometime also taking the client's order and stuffs like that. So one of the entrepreneur, her name is Usha, she has a company called Jamini in Paris. So she decided, I think it was third year or second year of her business, and she told me, hey, or fifth year of her business, and she told me, hey, would you like to do some, and she does the same kind of work in clothing or fabrics, so different fabrics from different regions, you know, block printing, and then there's Sambalpuri, there's Asamiya kind of work. So she was like, hey Deb, do you want to do a private dinner for me? I was like, but we have a very small budget, you know. I was like, okay, you know, but I can't, but I have to close my restaurant. It's just 1 week. I was like, let's go there. Let's try that. So I closed my restaurant. I took a big suitcase, put all my chutneys, masala, things like that. And with the suitcase, I went, stayed in a hostel, I think, and did a dinner with her for I think 20-25 odd people. Again, the concept was the same: food from different region, nicely paired with wine, and we served them. We were really impressed. Usha was the one who, the next time she was there in an event in the embassy. She recommended me to the ambassador that, hey, there is this guy, he's a chef from Lyon, and who is representing India in the most rightest way possible. And I think Mr. Ambassador at that point of time, Javed Ashrafi, came to Lyon, and I met him in Sofitel, I think so. And he was like, okay, but it was and it was he asked me of what I do and my food, and he was like, great, and then let's do a small event together. So I again went to his house one day with again a big suitcase, stayed in a hostel, did all my shopping together, chopping, cutting, cooking. So one person doing an entire nice fine dining little portion of Franco-Indian food. So it was French food fused with French techniques, but pure Indian food, again from different regions of India. And so that clicked, and then that's how that small step started. That's the next we did. I did it for Dr. Jaishankar, and then we did it for the French defense staff. We did it for a Indo CEO meet, where there was CEOs from India and from France, with CEOs from Capgemini to Safran to Dassault Aviation to TVS, Bajaj, etc. Then we also had the later was for French defense staffs. We did it for French member of parliaments, and then finally in the Namaste France Gala, where there was 650 people, food from different regions of India, for Indo and French commerce. I think it was the Indo-French commerce trade exhibition. But there was also Ricky Dej performing, and the food was getting served at the same time, and that's how the concept was. So it also, coming back to the point, it all started from there. That's how it started. It started with a small event which had nothing, which I never knew when I was doing that it's going to spiral into something of this big, but it did. That's little event on the first week of opening for 20 people. So yeah, that's how it transformed. And yeah, coming back to Mrs. Ambani, yes, it was during the event, Olympics event. So we were shortlisted among few caterers to showcase our talent, and that's how we met Mrs. Ambani, Madam Ambani and also Madam Piramal to serve the authentic Indian food from different regions. So I did an entire course of, I think there was a thali supposed to be given, so I did, I think, 12 states, thali of 12 states from different states, and we did it, and we served to them. That's how it happened.
So you just finished 5 years of Debs Bistro. How does it feel? What is the most important or the most the best memories from these 5 years of this journey?
Yes, it's a 5th year for us. It has been an amazing 5 years run. A lot of up downs, and I am super happy about this fact. I am super excited about the 5 years. The fact that we have survived just after 2 months of the restaurant being open. 2 months after the restaurant being opened, we had COVID. We remained closed for next 2 years, almost 1.5 years. And even after that, pulling out from the ditch, from building the restaurant and still running it, to opening another place in Paris. If I go back, I see cooking for such dignitaries. I couldn't have asked for anything more. It has also given me a lot of strength personally, that and confidence in the fact that if I can survive this, it really speaks a lot about how much can I endure, and it gives me something to compare to next time I am doubtful. I'm like, hey, if you can do that, then it's a small problem. That was much bigger than what you can expect, ever expect as a young entrepreneur. And one of the best thing which happened, which I can never forget, is that during the COVID, when everything was falling apart, somehow even from half of the budget, half of my salary, I allocated half of my salary to marketing. What we came up with that, because I knew that I can't engross with my clients anymore. It has been it's almost 6-7 months the restaurant was closed. There was no interaction. I was hardly 2 months old restaurant, so I had to communicate with my clients to create that entire community of my clients and people. At the end of the day, I couldn't miss out on that. So what I did is I started doing cooking with them. We started cooking. I started telling people, hey, you know what, go to your local Intermarché. Friday I would give you a list, very simple ingredients, and then Sunday we would cook together. We would cook a simple paneer butter masala together, or simple homey recipes together, you know. And then I would do some mistake, and I would say, hey, you know, this is a common mistake, and this is how you get over it. So, and we would all cook together, and then at 12 o'clock for 1 hour we'll cook, and then at 12 we'll eat all together, and we'll share each other in our community that, hey, this is how it turned out to be. And that turned out to be really great. We had almost 40 people cooking at this thing, and then these 40 people became the brand ambassadors of the restaurant. As soon as it opened, they came up with their friends over there. Hey, we cooked with you, you remember? And it was such a pleasure, because without these people, it would have been completely a different story. So this is something I think I have earned during, this is something, the most beautiful thing which has happened during such a
It's
situation.
a beautiful lesson in overall marketing and community building. And I cannot even imagine what COVID must have done for you.
Of course.
And to get through it and be here today, up and running with 5 years of running this restaurant. I wish you 5 more years of running it successfully, and I hope
Thank you.
we work together and we do a lot of big things in our future together. And thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you so much for being a guest on our podcast.
My pleasure.